I have with me here today our Chief Executive, Teo Sperrings, and our Group Head of Strategy, Maury Leyland. Without any further ado, I'm going to hand over to Teo. Teo, thank you.
Thank you, Kerry. Welcome this afternoon. Sorry for the very late notice. We also got information in only recently. But I would like to share with you and with the world that we are very relieved that there was no risk, especially because this whole instance concerned infant nutrition. And like I said before, for me personally, being a father of 3 children and knowing that it was child nutrition, I'm very relieved with this news. It's good news. It's good news that all is clear for us and regarding this recall. So, as you know, and I've shared that with you before, food safety for us is number 1 on our agenda, and all our systems and all our people act accordingly. It drives everything in our cooperative, and I honestly believe, I want to share with you that we did the right things and made the right calls all the way through. We acted decisively, and of course there will be learnings, and Maury is going to share the sequence of events, but also some of the learnings later on with you based on flowcharts. But there's always learnings, but at the decisive moments we took the right decisions. Of course, this was not an easy recall. We have said that all the time because our supply chain is involved, supply chain of customers is involved. It caused, in the initial 72 hours, confusion. And like I've said before, we apologize to parents about this confusion and anxiety what it caused. But the facts are that we had a sanitary issue in one of our factories that has been discussed in Hautapu. So when you find something or elevated levels of sulfite reducing Clostridia, we started 2 tracks. One track, what's the root cause? That was identified very fast. That tracked down to Hautapu, and on the microbiological side, that's where the testing started. And we said before, 200 strains in this family. We brought it back in our testing facility to 2, and when we had 2 strains, there was botulinum and sporogenous. We couldn't test any further. We asked outside help in the form of egg research. That's a governmental institute to define what it was. Was it sporogenous or botulinum? We got very clear indication that it was botulinum at that moment in time and toxin producing. So we had to take the decisions for a precautionary recall, and we did so. And what we are hearing today from MPI testing, that it was not botulinum but sporogenous, which is a bacteria which does not cause any food safety risk. So, like I said, I would still like to have the facts and the total picture very clear. So I would like to ask Maury to share with you very, very briefly what happened, but also what are we doing in our operational review, which is led by Maury, and what are our key findings. Maury.
Thank you, Teo. So as Teo says, I'll talk briefly through what happened, our global recall, and what we're doing, what we're learning from the events as they happened. So in March, during the course of our normal testing program, while we were making product for a customer at our plant at Darnham in Australia, we identified that we had high Clostridium levels in some of the product that we had made for them. This was of concern, so we immediately began 2 parallel paths of work. Firstly, we looked at our manufacturing plants, and we sourced back the product to our manufacturing plant at Hautapu in New Zealand, and we learnt there that we had manufactured the product with a slightly non-standard process, and that there was plant there which had not been used recently, and though it had been through all the cleaning processes that it should have, was the potential cause of contamination. At the same time, we began to look for the microbiological root of the Clostridium, and we looked to identify the source. We took the testing as far as we could at our own research centre in Palmerston North, but we were unable, although we identified that it was probably a non-toxic version, we were unable to rule out that it was Clostridium botulinum. At that time, we commissioned the Crown Research Institute, Ag Research, to conduct further testing. Ag Research is the laboratory in New Zealand capable of doing a US FDA test for Clostridium botulinum. When Ag Research advised us that these tests showed the likely presence of Clostridium botulinum, we immediately advised the Ministry of Primary Industries, went public and initiated the recall. Our recall was a complex global recall. It affected 8 of our customers. Some of that product had gone to them sometime previously. Those customers turned those products into other products, so it was complex, went around the world and did affect many consumers. Yes. Since that time, the Ministry has subsequently conducted further testing, and today we have learnt with great relief the news that in fact there was no Clostridium botulinum in our products. But still there's a lot for us to learn in this event. First and foremost, we need to acknowledge that what happened caused a lot of concern for parents around the world and concerns for the safety of their children. So we need to know that we can take from the experience, and we are a world-class global company, and world-class companies always look to improve every day, so we'll be looking at how we can improve every day. So our operational review, which is already coming to a close, but nothing changes, we'll be looking at what we can do to improve our factories that make particularly the most sensitive products for infants and children. We'll be looking at our traceability to make sure that, although we have a complex supply chain, that we can trace our product on any day. And we'll be looking at transparency of information in our company, making sure that we have the right information to make the right decisions at the right time. Thank you.
Thank you, Maury. And we are able to slide or to share these slides with you if you would like to have them after the press conference. No problem. So all in all, it has been, I would say, emotional almost 4 weeks now. There have been people working extremely hard around the business and around the world on the recall. But what I'm saying to our staff, and you know that we have a V3 strategy, but we are now in a 4R mode. That's the recall. The recall has been done. The recall has been based, as Maury is saying, on root cause analysis, how TAPU, and final testing by Ag Research. We had no way to go than to go into this precautionary recall. Of course, that causes anxiety, and again, we apologize for that. The recall is all, that phase is over. We are now in the middle of reviews. The review of Maury, the operational review, is almost finalized. There's some more reviews happening at the moment, but we are already in the mode of recovery. We are definitely in a recovery mode, opening up the markets, regaining trust of our customers, constant open lines. You have seen the developments on global dairy trade. We had 2 record events in a row, so the baseline is there. Is there work to be done? Yes, there's definitely work to be done on the recovery phase. We are in that right now, and the 4th R is rebuilding our reputation. But again, what Maury is saying and what I am saying, we are very, very relieved that this is not a food safety scare and that none of the children in the world were affected by this event. And that's where I would like to leave it for now.